Hello, YouTube fans. Here again. And I thought about doing this one for a while, and it was to do with the shipmate of Roadhouse. Now, I do remember reviewing the dud one of Roadhouse. And before I say anything else, I want to thank the most of the people who have watched, the subbed, and I also want to thank them for the thumbs up and the nice comments on the shipmate of Roadhouse. It's nice to know that we've got something in common for the ones who have viewed it, the ones who give me thumbs up. You know what? I think a lot of people, and I mean, I'm not a psychic, I could be right, I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm the only one what is so fucking sick of remakes, which I call shit makes, because let's be honest, they are. I am not the only one what is so pig sick of remakes of Hollywood digging things up from the past. I say it again, digging things up from the fucking past. How many times have we got to see a remake, a shitting in, a shit make, a race to money, a race to potential, a race of whatever? How many times have we got to see a shitting in, jerking in, and so on? Now, people might write up and say, you like remakes? Yeah, I do. You might be right on that one from the past. Because back in the days when we had the Fi, back in the days when we had the Blob, back in the days that we think of for remakes, what was successful, Take Fear, because that's a remake, the one with Robert De Niro, and other remakes like that. The director, the producer, had a passion, David Goldenberg had a passion when he did the Fi, which I've got to admit, the Fi, even though I like the 1958 one, it's a total classic. David Goldenberg had a passion and he made a damn good worthy remake. He made it his own. He didn't have to copy lines from lines. He made the film his own. The only bit where you could say it's similar is the pod, and that's about it. The pod. The blob, which is very underestimated. We never see it on DVD, which is so fucking annoying. I like the Chief Machine one. I mean, it's going on me, like the blob's going on me. But in all fairness, the 1958 one is a typical B monster film. The 80s one did it better. The Thing. I like The Thing from Another World, but I've got to admit, John Carpenter did it a lot better. Had special effects a lot in the days of practical effects. Forget the fucking prequel, whatever you want to call it. Do they want me to do that once? I'm sorry, it was a rant because to me, they were trying to make it into a fucking remake, and there was ideas what John Carpenter wanted to do to make a sequel. Never happened. So there's only ever been probably a few gnomes where there have been remakes where they've done it better. Night of the Living Dead. People might shoot me because people love Night of the Living Dead, the one with Charles Bernardo. I've got to admit, I prefer the remake, the 1991. Shoot me, I'm the only one what felt that they improved some of the characters and so on. But they're remakes from the past. I'm on about today's remakes a little bit in the 2000s. How many have been successful? How many has been successful? Nightmare on Rape Street, not the one with Robert England, the shitty no remake. I made a bet, right? And I knew from day one that film was going to bomb. It was going to bomb. It bombed. The director didn't do himself any favours because he insulted all the Freddy fans. So it bombed even more. And they're now thinking of doing another one. Why? What's the point? Um, Let me think of other shitmates that never went anywhere. Total rim job. So we know Anna, no retard. They what? They had ideas to do a sequel. Never happened. And he was doing other things at the time. And I'd have loved to have seen a sequel. I would have said an idea for a sequel. Never happened. It's too much imagination for Hollywood. So what did they do? No imagination. Digging things up from the past. How many people remember the remake with Stephen Farrell? How many? If you don't, understandable. It was forgettable and it bombed. Wobocock. See, I don't call them the original names because it's an insult. What was the point of doing a remake? The third one bombed. TV series didn't last that long. Cartoon series didn't last that long. No Peter Weller. Even though, let's say for argument's sake, Peter Weller appeared in that one. It still would have bombed because it was poor written, it was poor, it was Andy Panda, they was trying to make it PC fucking friendly, and that's one of the reasons why Robotop bombed. So why do a remake, not learning from the mistakes of that TV series, trying to make it for the kiddies, to make it kiddie friendly, and like 1 and 2? What was the point? And it bombed. Point Break bombed, and that was a film with Plastic Phaser. I'm on about the remake. Then you had Red Dawn, more like Red Lawn. How many people remember the remake? Fuck it, I can be here forever. Footloose. Do you remember the remake? Does anyone remember the remake of that compared to the classic one from 1984 with date songs like Footloose, Footloose, Elder Door, the Footloose? Does anyone remember the remake? If you don't, that's understandable because it was forgettable. You see, you see, there's a pattern now. There's a pattern. And the pattern is Rimjob, Elm Street, Robocop, Footloose. Every one of those films epically bombed. They made it in the pictures because people watched our Oster's death because of the name. The name. But it bombed the next week. It didn't make that much money. Those films only made it, on the opening night. And they only cast in on the name. The name, keep doing this. Digging things up from the past. And already, Roadhouse is getting mixed reviews. People say it's bland, people have no interest, people give me a nice pretty thumbs up that proves that people would dig. Because people, just like me, are sick of fucking remakes. They're sick to the death of re-shittenings. Let's shit another remake out. Let's dig something up from the past. And it sums up in my eyes that Hollywood these days has got no imagination. They've got no imagination. They're digging things up. They're doing that from the fucking past. They're digging things up from the past, memory lane and all this shit. They're digging things up from the fucking past. The past. And I'm hoping, now people said this Roadhouse is bland and so on. And I'll guarantee some people will watch it. And I'm hoping this is just me giving a fight. I'm not telling people what to do. But I reckon, mate, if anyone said, fuck this, we're not going to watch it. We're sick to the death of fucking remakes. We're sick of these fucking shittenings and Hollywood not having no imagination. No, we're not going to waste our money. We've got better things to do. Is, something new, something creative. We're not going to waste money on a re-shittening. And people stop doing that. Hollywood might actually realise that there's no potential in remaking. There's no potential anymore. I just said things from the past like The Fly, The Blob, The Thing. That's because you've had a good director, a good producer, and they decided to get something from the past and make it better. That was the idea of a remake, but what is the point of remaking something? X-Deuce was rolled out at Rotten Tomatoes. Fuck you, Rotten Tomatoes. I never liked Rotten Tomatoes. Go back on a rant I did about Rotten Tomatoes. Right? Rotten Tomatoes to me don't mean fuck all. Right? But at the end of the day, if people stop watching these fucking remakes in openings, hopefully Hollywood will figure out that they're wasting money on a brand name. Time to do something new, time to make things of their own. But they won't. They're already thinking of doing another Elm Street, another remake, another shittening. What's the point? What is the fucking point? It's pointless. Be like Pointless Break, which nobody remembers from the original. But Hollywood won't learn. They'll still dig things up. It's like they're planning on doing a fucking eye and do the remake. What other remakes? What other shitnings? What films have they not shipped out there which been do that again? A remake. But hopefully they might learn. But I just think, I haven't told people what to do, but I think if people stop fucking wasting their potential and their money watching these fucking remakes out of the curiosity of the name, that's all they're doing it for. They not have no imagination, they're not thinking of anything new, they're just using a fucking brand name. I reckon if people stop doing that, those films won't get anywhere. and Hollywood will have to get the fat, lazy, lamey asses and think of something new. Will they? So it's just a thought. It's just a thought. Do we need remakes? What is the need of remakes these days? Is they going to come up with anything new? Because none of them has been successful. They made it big the first opening. Made it big the first opening night. Nowadays they don't make fuck all. People forget. They're forgettable. And write the show. What remakes people said was better these days? Every one of them bombed. Poltergeist didn't go anywhere. Wobocock didn't go anywhere. Do you think Hollywood are going to learn now from this? Or are they going to shit some more shit makes? And sometimes it works. Sometimes it works. They was planning on doing, what was it? They was planning on doing American Werewolf in London, a remake. Never happened because people got pissed. Fans got pissed. Do you think would have been a learning curve from Hollywood? Big Trouble in Little Chinatown was going to get a remake. People whined, people moaned that much. We don't want a remake. It's not needed. We don't want a remake. And it worked. They didn't make one. So there you go. Sometimes that works. But it's whether Hollywood will learn. Put into them. Be smart. Be safe. Then, what else they're going to remake?